Right. So, good evening. So, today's class will see on Unit 4, that is resistance welding. Unit 4 comprises of two parts. One is resistance welding and solid state welding. Right. So, resistance welding is the one which is a welding process which is occurred due to the resistance which is occurred when I send a huge amount of current. When a high intensified current is passed on to the workpiece, there exists a resistance. Resistance is nothing but opposite force or let's say, what is the meaning of resistance, Aziz? What is the meaning of resistance?
Yes, ma'am.
What is the meaning of resistance?
Opposing the opposing the flow of current, ma'am. Resistance.
Yes, opposing the flow of current, right? So when I'm sending a current into the workpiece which is clamped between some electrodes or some clamping device, there exists a resistance to the flow of current, right? Due to this resistance, due to the flow of current, the metal will melt. It will start melting, and the temperature will when it melts, the temperature will reach the fusion temperature, and the both metals or the both the parent metals will join on each other and it will fuse, right? So here I am sending an high amperes of current from the transformer, the circuit, whatever the behind circuit, I'm sending the current, right? Then there exists a resistance to the flow of current. A opposite force to the flow of current will exist. Because of this, the parent metals or the metals which I want to weld will melt, right? So on the other side, there was a pedal to the machine which you were pressing it. Remember? So you are applying the pressure on the workpiece, right? So that's the name in the solid state welding, where you will be given the heat along with a pressure, right? So you will be giving the heat and then you will go with the pressure, is called as a resistance welding. After it creates an heat or an environment which is able to create a fusion between the two plates, then you will apply slowly, or you will apply sudden. You can apply slow pressure or you can apply sudden pressure by just pressing the lever which is under the machine, right? So now you are giving the pressure and you are waiting till the two metals to stick onto each other. That time you call it as a hold time, right? There are different types of times like in resistance welding, right? So the first time you call it as squeeze time. Squeeze time is the one which the time at which you'll fix the workpiece between the two electrodes is called as a squeeze time, or you can simply call it as the fixing time, right? So you will first fix the workpiece between the electrodes. Then the second one is the weld time. The weld time is the one, the time at which the workpiece will reach the fusion temperature. The time at which the workpieces are heated and it reaches the fusion temperature is called as in a weld time, right? Then the third time is called as in a hold time. Hold time is the one, at this time what you will do, the current you will cut off the current will not take place. You will switch off the current. Now you will press the lever by your leg. You will give the pressure to the workpiece in order to stick, in order to hold, in order to give a rigidity to the melted area, right? You are giving a rigidity to the melted area by applying the pressure with your leg. So this is called as a hold time, right? Then after the both sheet metals, the spot is created, right? After the spot is created, you will release the liver, you will remove the leg, the liver, you will release the liver, then you will remove the workpiece, right? This is the process in resistance welding. If you are doing a lap joint, right, and in Viva, in your external Viva, they will ask you which type of joints they can do by spot welding. You can only do lap joint in spot welding, right? In spot welding, you can do only lap joint, whereas if you want to do butt joint or edge to edge joint, then you will go for upset welding or butt welding or flash welding. But spot welding is only meant for lap. Overlapping joints are only meant with spot welding, and the thickness less than 3 mm up till 3 mm only you can do spot welding. So in resistance welding, the name itself is saying resistance towards the resistance over the flow of current is called as a resistance welding. Under resistance welding, you have uh, spot welding, projection welding, seam welding, butt welding, and flash welding, right? So there are, and the sixth one is precursion welding. So you have six types under this category, right? So in resistance welding, you will not have a filler material, and you no need to use any flux material, right? And this is meant for let's say spot welding, these are meant for sheet metals, right? And butt welding and flash welding, those are used for welding the rods, your cement, your concrete rods in your construction purpose. Those rods are joined by flash and butt welding. You can even go for forge welding also, but mostly they will go for flash and butt welding, right? So in this slide they had said about resistance welding. This resistance welding is the welding where you will be using the heat and pressure, right? Right, in the previous sessions like gas welding and arc welding, you were melting the workpiece and you were using a filler rod and electrode rod, right? Here you will be using the heat and pressure to fuse the two different sheet metal plates and to create a spot, or you can even create a continuous joint also, right? So so this, the parameters of the resistance welding is current, pressure, and surface conditions. These two are very critical in resistance welding: current and pressure. If you don't give the sufficient amount of pressure, then the two pieces will move out and it will not stick, or it will not create spot, right? And when you were doing the spot welding, our sir, lab assistant sir, he was doing a chipping operation to the electrode. Did you see that? For every experiment he was filing the copper electrodes. Did you see that, Aziz or
Yes, ma'am.
Balaji? Hello.
Yes,
Hello.
ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Did you see that he was filing the copper electrodes after two or three experiments he was doing, right? So why he was doing is, if you do the chipping action, right? If you will actually, this copper electrodes in our college are not connected with the cooling system, right? So these copper electrodes are the conductive materials as the current is passing, right? So you need some cooling system, right? So the tip of the copper electrode should be always it should be the tip should be very small, right? If the tip is very small, you will have a less contact area, right? So less heat will be passing on to the workpiece. If more heat is passing on to the workpiece, you will get more spots, you will get more marks, right? So you should have a very a spotted end onto the workpiece. In order to have a spotted end, or in order to have a less contact area, you have to do the chipping or you have to do the filing operation of the copper electrode frequently after 2 or 3 spot welding operations, right? So please do remember, if they'll ask you in Viva why you have to do the chipping or filing to the copper electrode, then you have to give this explanation, right? And they will ask you what is the electrode material used there and why that only copper rods, why not any other materials also, they will ask you. So all of you please be ready to answer that. Okay, then the next comes the principle, right? In resistance welding, a low voltage and a high current is passed for a very short time, right? So this time will be always between 0.5 seconds. And in your college, I asked you when you were doing the experiment, count 10 in your mind. Remember, 10 in your mind, and then apply the pressure on the liver, right? So this generally in industries, the time at which the current to pass and to fuse the material to the fusion temperature will be of about 0.25 seconds. Okay, so the high current will heat the joint and it will melt it, and after the melting process takes place, you will apply pressure simultaneously in order to fuse the joint, right? This is the principle of resistance welding, right? So there is an equation in resistance welding. The heat generated, H is the heat generated, that is equal to K into current in amperes, square of the current into resistance into the time for the current to pass into the joint. And the joint which is welded in the resistance welding, you call it as a nugget, right? Please all of you make a note of it. Nugget, N-U-G-G-E-T, nugget is the one. It is a welded joint. When I'm using a resistance welding, the joint which is formed is called as nugget. Okay, then R is the resistance, K is the constant, right? So H is equal to K into I square into R into T, right? So this is the equipment setup. We had seen this in the lab, right? So these are the two electrodes, right? So you were using a copper electrode there, and there is a pneumatic cylinder, pneumatic system here. We in our college we are not having pneumatic system, just a lever mechanism, right? Rocker arm lever mechanism was there in our college. So this terminals from the two electrodes is connected to the transformer. This is a step down transformer which will be having the primary winding and secondary winding, right? So this is the circuit setup, and this is the welding section, right? And if you want to have a rocker arm mechanism, you will have an lever here where you will be pressing it, right? This is the setup in resistance welding. So I said, right, this is the weld nugget. You call it as weld nugget. After welding the joint, you call it as weld nugget. And there are two electrodes here. So one will be movable, and one will be a fixed electrode. And in between the two electrodes, you will be fixing the two sheets, right? And you remember, these sheets are in lap joint. If you are joining it, if you want to join a lap joint, you have to go to spot welding machine, right? So this is repeated, this is not needed. Now we'll see what is heat balance, right? So in order to maintain the heat balance between the two sheets, right, if I'm using a small thickness sheet, then I have to give a small contact area. In the sense, the electrode diameter should be less if I want to weld a thin material, right? So if I want to weld a thick material, then I have the diameter of the electrode. The diameter of this electrode should be large, right? So then it will have more contact area, then the more it can conduct more current towards the workpiece, right? So the more amount of the heat it flows, what is the the conductor is the one which will allow the current to pass into it, right? So higher conductivity material will conduct the more current, right? Lesser resistivity material will allow to pass more current. As you all know, resistivity is always inversely proportional to conductivity. So based on the material properties, if it is of a higher conductivity material, you have to use the electrode low conductive material. If the material which you want to weld is of low conductivity material, then you have to remove the electrode, you have to replace the electrode and you have to put high conductivity materials, right? Vice versa, you should change the electrodes based on the material properties, right? And the time is the remaining time is only 9 minutes. I'll again send you the request, please add on and do not quit the meeting, okay? Then so this is in order to balance the heat based on the thickness. If small thickness, you will go for small contact area. Larger thickness, you will go for large contact area, right? And then the next case is if you are using different materials, right? And different materials, like in resistance welding, you can weld two dissimilar metals or two similar metals, and you can even weld two plates which are having a different thickness, right? If the main advantage of resistance welding is two different thickness materials are also can be joined, two different dissimilar materials also can be joined, right? So if I'm using a different materials, like of a different thermal conductivity, right? Then I said, right, the lower resistive materials to the lower resistive materials, I'll be using the high thermal conductivity electrode. If I'm using a high resistivity materials, I will use low thermal conductivity material, right? So based on the material properties, you can change the tip. Here you can see in this diagram, to this plate, the diameter of the electrode is very small, and to this plate, the diameter of the electrode is very large, right? So the upper plate is having high conductivity, thermal conductivity or high electrical conductivity, right? So high conductivity materials will have less diameter of electrode. Low thermal conductivity or low electrical conductivity materials will have more diameter, or the diameter of the electrode tip will be more, right? Then now we'll see the what there are different types of electrodes. So we'll see what is the function of electrodes, right? The functions of electrode is it should allow to carry the high current, right? And it should align the workpiece, and workpiece should not move, it should not misalign, right? So it should hold the workpiece and simultaneously it should allow the current to pass, right? So that is the function of electrode in resistance welding, right? And the properties of the electrode is, I said, right, it should have a very good electrical and thermal conductivity, and it should have a good mechanical strength, right? So coming to the electrode materials, the you can use different types of alloying copper materials, copper with cadmium, copper with chromium, copper, cobalt, beryllium, right? Based on the materials, if I want to weld stainless steel, tungsten and other alloy steels, I will use copper, cobalt and beryllium, right? So these are the electrode materials, right? So now we'll see the electrode tip shape. So here the first diagram is pointed, the second one is spherical, the third one is dome. So based on the workpiece, based on the workpiece or based on the thickness of the workpiece and based on the resistivity nature of the workpiece, you will be changing the shape of the electrode tips. Okay. Coming to the advantages and disadvantages, right? Resistance welding is highly automated, and disadvantages is it cannot weld thicker materials. It is constrained only till 3 to 6 mm only, right? And dissimilar metals also it can weld, right? So the main applications is for thin sheets only. The it can weld the casing of the aeroplane and the casing of the ship building are welded with the resistance welding, right? So coming to the materials, it can weld carbon steel, stainless steel, and nickel alloys. Now comes the categories of resistance welding. All are same. The concept is the same. The resistance towards the flow of over the flow of current is called as a resistance welding. All the six will use the same concept, but the machine setup will be different. In resistance spot welding, you will be doing the spot nuggets, right? In resistance seam welding, you will be doing a continuous joint between the two plates. A continuous joint will be done by using a seam welding process, right? And in projection welding, you will be having a projection to the sheet or to the electrode. It will simply allow the current to pass into the sheet and it will press the workpiece. So when it presses the workpiece at this projection, you will get the spot at a regular intervals. Whereas in the spot welding, in your lab, you were doing the single spot, you were moving the workpiece, you are doing the spot again, you were moving it forward. Whereas in projection welding, you will get a six projections or six spots at a time. When you send the current and when you apply the pressure at a time, you will get a six spots at a time. That is projection welding. Upset welding, flash welding, and percussion welding. If you want to join edge to edge, right? Edge to edge metals, if you want to join, then you will go for upset, flash, and percussion welding. Okay, fine. Now we'll see the resistance spot welding. It's the same. What the explanation? The explanation is the same. Whatever I gave for the resistance welding, as it is under the family of resistance welding. Here you are only creating a single spot, right? So that spot you call it as nugget. The same thing, you will have the transformer connection. This is the primary winding and secondary winding. And the current supply is AC current. All of you please make a note of it. The AC supply you will give, right? And this is used to join the lap joint for the sheet metal, right? The process is same. You will use low voltage and high current. As it is passed at the short time, the heat will be created under the heat will be created because of the resistance offered at this current flow. And at this temperature, the both the metals will start fusing, right? After that, the current is switched off. Then you will apply the pressure. By applying the pressure, the both pieces are fused and sticked, and it creates a spot, right? So this is rocker arm mechanism. You will be here. You will put you will put your foot here. You will apply it, and this is the mechanism. This is the two electrodes. One is movable and one is fixed. There will be a water lines in your college. You're not having cooling system, but this water lines will be moving from the electrode, and again it will be recirculated back, and the cooling system is continuously given from here to the electrode, right? So there are different times, right? The squeeze time, weld time, hold time, and off time. Squeeze time is the fixing of the workpiece or aligning the workpiece is called as a squeeze time. Weld time is the current flow to the workpiece and the resistance towards the current flow, and the generation of heat at this time. All this work will occur. That is weld time. Hold time is the one if you are the pressure that is applied without a current. All of you make a note of it. In hold time, you will not give the current. You will switch off the current, or there will be a cut off of the current. Only the pressure will be applied to the at hold time. Then the off time is when you remove your foot away and you when you will release the lever, and when you remove the workpiece at this stage you call it as off time. Fine. Then comes the advantages and disadvantages. Disadvantages is only lap joint. Advantages, any dissimilar metals you can weld. Disadvantages is only thick materials, up to 6 metals only it can weld. Applications is MS, mild steel, stainless steel, aluminum, copper and nickel alloy. Dissimilar metals also you can weld by spot welding. Now time is less than 1 minute. The meeting will end now. I'll again give you the request. Fine.